Um, welcome everyone, and I appreciate you joining us. This is our very first Coherence Hotspot. So I know most of you, but for those of you who I don't know well, my name is Gina Daniels, and my husband and I own Jackson Healing Arts Center, also Jackson Studios, and the community at the Queen of Canvas at Jackson, where I'm a creative flow coach, a business flow coach, a Reiki practitioner. I'm a certified creatively fit coach, and an approved HeartMath heart facilitator. And just recently did the training to become a Coherence Hotspot. So that's what this is all about.
Yay.
So many of you may be wondering what the heck is a Coherence Hotspot? And some of you may be wondering what the heck does coherence mean? So before we get to all the answers to those questions, let me just tell you a little bit about how we got to this point. So I had been studying flow, the state of flow, what is flow, how to get into flow, and how to nurture that flow. And so some of the tools that I found when I was studying flow was, I really found to help me get into flow was my creative practice, specifically my sacred painting practice. Then of course we found the float tanks and meditation. Now I have to say that without the float tanks, meditation was really kind of challenging for me. And then if those of you that know that I'm a Audible junkie, I read a lot of books. I actually listen to a lot of books. A couple years ago, I started reading Dr. Joe Dispenza's book called Becoming Supernatural. And it was just so juicy that I listened to it several times. I actually bought the book, had to highlight it and all of that. But in his book, really in all his books, he uses this HeartMath technology in his programs. So I was wondering what the heck was HeartMath, or who was HeartMath, and I started researching the HeartMath Institute. So some of you may be familiar with HeartMath, and if you're not, they're a nonprofit that was started in 1991 by Doc Childry, and they do research, scientifically based research that they've developed tools that bridge the connection between heart and the mind, and their mission is really just to deepen people's connection with the heart and heart of others. So their research has been used at the foundation of a lot of programs, educational programs and training programs that are used worldwide. They have worked with major corporations. They have worked with the government and social service agencies. They've worked with all different branches of the government, schools and universities, and hospitals and healthcare professionals, as well as they do programs for law enforcement agencies as well. So I kind of went down the path of learning about HeartMath and got all excited about that. And then I got Sherry involved with me, and we went down the path of getting approved to be HeartMath facilitators.
I'm from Magnolia Federal.
You're familiar with that? Are you, Rusty, is that you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to somebody else. Okay,
that's okay. I don't have you muted, so if you guys want to chime in, you're welcome to. So then I started after getting familiar with the HeartMath Institute and using the tools, I stumbled across this Coherence Hotspot network. So this is a global initiative that was basically put together or founded a couple years ago by a couple of, go ahead and just mute everybody.
This is a different order.
There we go. For a minute.
The original high school.
If you need to. Okay. So anyhow, the Heart Coherence Hotspot group, they basically were a couple of HeartMath trainers that work in a clinic, and they work with veterans, and they actually use the HeartMath techniques in kind of a healthcare facility. But they had this passion of sharing this with the world. And as you'll learn more about HeartMath, you'll learn that there's personal coherence, there's social coherence, and then there's global coherence. So the idea of developing these hotspots, basically it's people getting together, getting into coherence all over the world, and basically trying to raise the coherence of the globe, the world, and people all around us. So it's really, really exciting to be part of it, and I'm glad that you guys are here to join me and learn more about it. So every year these groups get more and more, there's more communities that are joining in, and the network is endorsed by the HeartMath Institute. So HeartMath actually came out with a really wonderful course this year that explains this whole HeartMath thing and heart coherence in really, really great detail, way better than I could explain it as a facilitator. And so I thought, just kind of as a jumping off point for these coherence hotspots, and to keep it short, we could watch the program together and then kind of talk about it. So it's basically, it's a 90-minute session, and it's broken into 10 chapters. So I thought we could go through the first 2 chapters today, and then kind of talk about it a little bit, and we'll be able to actually learn and practice that heart-centered breathing today, and then get you guys back to your day, because I know it's really busy these days, right? So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and make sure I've got this ready to go here. And then after I'm going to go ahead and run through the 2 sections of the video. It's going to be about 15 minutes or so. I'll probably stop in between, see if anybody has questions, jump into the next video. And then at the end, I want to share a little bit about the biofeedback technology that Sherry and I use in our coaching and personally. And also I want to share this really cool Global Coherence app that I thought it'd be really cool if eventually we had a group, a Jackson group, Jackson, Mississippi, or a Global Coherence group. And some of you guys may not even be in Jackson. You could be anywhere at this point, I'm not sure. And then I'll open it up. I'd like you to introduce yourself if we have time before we get back to our day. So before I start the video, I'm going to unmute you for a minute and tell me if you have any questions. Okay, you're unmuted. Do you have any questions before we start the video? All right. I'm going to mute you again, just so when we are watching the video, we'll have that going. Share my screen.
Hello, this is your heart. Can you hear me? Can you feel me? I know we haven't talked in a long time, but I was thinking maybe you could use a little break to reconnect. Take this time to reevaluate what you've come to know about yourself and the world. After all, this is a story about your life. It's a story about you and me, about all of us as individuals and as a whole, and about new ways to see that we are all connected. So come along with me on an uplifting journey of heart, mind, and spirit. Let's discover how to reconnect and move from your old life to a new one, starting right here, right now.
Have you ever noticed how sometimes life just seems to fly past us, as if everything moved 1,000,000 miles per hour? More to do and less time, as if we had a list of never-ending errands on us at all times. It's often hard to keep up and easy to feel exhausted, overwhelmed. More and more people are feeling lonely, separated from themselves and others. If you're feeling some of this, know that you're not alone. This is the state of the world we live in. This increasing complexity we experience in our over-competitive modern life is an outward reflection of the speed of change. Life, including each of us, is always evolving. It's just happening at a very fast pace now, during an important and unique time in history. Old systems are failing and new ones are trying to emerge. Numerous societies and governments are in a state of chaos or transformation. These are the evolutionary conditions of our time. However, another momentum is also taking place. Many people from different backgrounds, cultures, and professions are sensing an impetus for positive change within themselves and in the world. There is an inner stirring, a prompting from our intuition to awaken to new possibilities and a desire to grow, that we can create, not wait for more balance and flow through these times of change, an empowerment opportunity. One of the most important aspects of the changes taking place is a rediscovery of what's been hidden in plain sight all along. It's the heart. Along with the chaos, there is a new emergence of heart-based awareness and heart intelligence. Researchers are finding that learning how to access the heart's intelligence is a key to managing the speed of personal and planetary change and creating a new life experience.
So I think that the most important discovery in the last thousands of years or more was actually the discovery of electricity. Yeah, people knew about electricity. They knew it was there, but they didn't know what it was. They didn't know what you could do with it. Once they figured out how to harness electricity, everything changed. The way we live changed completely, and it happened really, really fast too. And so the world we live in today is a different world because of electricity. In some ways, I think the same is true about heart. We know about heart. It's been talked about. It's been written about. It's been sung about. People refer to it. When they point to themselves, they point right here to their heart. So we know about heart. But the true potential of heart and the intelligence that it has is yet to be unfolded. That's changing now. And when we begin to harness the true power and intelligence of heart, everything is going to change for us about how we think, how we feel, how the world functions, how we relate to one another. All that will change dramatically, and it will change quickly. Just like electricity changed the outer world, heart's going to change the inner world.
In this experience, through learning simple techniques, seeing real-life examples, and hearing from experts and others, you will have the opportunity to experience your heart's intelligence and how it can help you physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You'll see how you can connect with your heart in practical ways to reduce the stress of daily life, meet challenges with more ease, and become more of who you truly are. Join me on a journey that will help you move from depletion to renewal, from separation to connection, from mind to heart to spirit. Rediscover your best self. It's time to get reacquainted. It's time to get along with each other. It's heart time on the planet.
So, unmute you for a minute. Oops, hold on.
The beat of the heart is with us.
Let me unmute you. Right. So that was part one. Just get our interest going. What do you think? Isn't it beautiful? I mean, I like the way it's done. It's really, really nicely done.
Very helpful.
Yeah. And so each of the modules is about, 8 or 10 minutes. Most of them aren't even 10 minutes long. And a lot of good information in each of them. Like I said, I think it's just easier for us just to kind of watch the video together. Jump ahead if you want, if you just can't wait to see the rest when we're done here. There's a link to the video. It's for free right now on our website. So I'll tell you more about that in a bit. So why don't we jump right into the other video I want to show you today, which is the second chapter. And that one is about the science of the heart. So I'm going to make sure line it up here real quick. Okay, hold on here.
The beat of the
Technology. Do you have any questions or comments before we watch the next one? Okay. And again, we're just going to watch the second one, and then we'll discuss, and then we'll get you back to your day. But this next one actually does talk more about the science of the heart, and actually we'll even go into just kind of the beginning stages of doing heart-centered breathing, which is really the center of HeartMath. So, all right, I'm going to mute you all for a moment, and we will see you on the other side of this video. Yeah.
The beat of the heart is with us from the beginning to the end of our life cycle. And yet, most of us have been introduced to their heart as just a 10-ounce muscle that pumps our blood and maintains its circulation until we die. Looked at biologically, the heart's efficiency is amazing. If we take care of our health, the heart can work without interruption for 100 years, without care or cleaning, without repair or replacement. But for everyone, too, the heart has another dimension, much more profound. We find this in popular expressions such as listen to your heart, follow your heart, put your heart into it, amongst many more. These expressions of heart resonate within all of us, whatever your age, religion, ethnicity, or education. Actually, those expressions can be found in most languages and even in most ancient cultures. Over thousands of years, ancient cultures across the planet, Mesopotamians, Egyptians, Babylonians, Chinese, and Greeks, shared a similar belief and knowledge about the heart as a source of intelligence and inner guidance. They perceived that the heart is capable of influencing and directing one's emotions, morality, and decision-making ability. Modern science is showing us that what has been said for thousands of years is true. We now know the physical heart is an information processing center in the body, sending important signals to the brain and the rest of the body. It has a complex nervous system called the heart brain that talks to your head brain. It produces a powerful electromagnetic field that is imprinted by your emotions. Our heart influences everything from the way we feel to the way we interact with others, our brain function, and our health. Yes, your heart at a biological level is talking. The question is, are we listening? The heart's intelligence is not just physical. It encompasses some of the highest qualities we have as humans. Many of the highest quality feelings we experience are associated with the heart. They would include emotions like appreciation, care, love, kindness, patience, and compassion. Their transformational value is born from our energetic or spiritual heart, which affects the physical heart's information. The heart is also associated with a deeper source of wisdom, an intuitive knowingness that bypasses normal, logical, linear thought patterns. This is often called the voice in the heart and known to support us with much better choices and direction throughout life's interactions. Our heart's intuition is the voice of our true, authentic self. When we're in connection with that part of ourselves, that's when we're able to move beyond our limitations and accomplish things that can surprise us.
Qualities of the heart are usually talked about in terms of the emotions that we feel: love and care and compassion, appreciation. Those type of emotional qualities are often associated with heart. But also there are others, like their nobility, dignity, honor, courage, kindness, patience. All those are what I call the qualities of the heart. And when we manifest those qualities in daily life, life treats us differently. It feeds back to us differently. Put out those kind of qualities in our daily interactions, life is generally going to reward us in a completely different way.
To me, The most powerful quality of the heart is love itself. So if you could see an entire rainbow, and love is all the colors of that rainbow, you could break down every quality of the heart inside the color spectrum of that, whether it's care, compassion, really powerful one, because that helps not only you liberate yourself from the stress and it helps healing, but it helps others and lifts them.
We can take charge of how we feel more than we may think. And so learning to connect with these heart qualities, activate them, nurture them, actually send different signals from the heart to the brain that change how we perceive and give us more ability to choose how we respond to situations that are best for ourselves and others.
The quality of the emotions we experience, things like compassion, appreciation, gratitude, just feeling good, that the heart sends a very different type of signal to the brain than when we're feeling stressed, or things like impatient or frustrated, anxious, these types of things.
When we're working with the military, things like courage, dignity, honor, those are core heart qualities that help lift them. When I'm working with healthcare, compassion, care, kindness, those are heart qualities that equally lift one's nature. You just have to be honest with what's meaningful to you.
So now we're starting to have a scientific understanding that these higher quality emotions that people have always associated with the heart really do affect the way the heart beats and the quality of the neural signals being sent to the brain, which it then interprets.
And so I think it's important to understand that, heart is about a lot of things. Certainly it's about intuition. Certainly it's about the physical heart. But it's also about these amazing heart qualities that lend themselves to providing the richness and fulfillment that we all deserve.
Most people would rather feel loving, enthusiastic, and appreciative than resentful, anxious, or depressed. But often the world around us seems to be spinning out of control. And despite our best intentions, it's hard for anyone to maintain their emotional equilibrium. Unfortunately, without our heart qualities being activated, life can become a much darker place. It doesn't have to be this way.
Right now, let's connect with the heart by doing heart-focused breathing. Focus your attention in the area of the heart. Imagine your breath is flowing in and out of your heart or chest area, breathing a little slower and deeper than usual. Try to feel like the energy up in the head is now flowing down into the heart. Keep your focus there and breathe deeply and slowly in a casual, steady rhythm that feels comfortable to you.
It's given me lots of opportunities to choose alternative options when dealing, especially with teenagers. There were times that teenagers know a way to incite an inflammatory response, and just taking that moment to stop and breathe for a second, I at times felt like I had a personal coach on my shoulder that would say, or you could say it this way. And that was quite amazing to be able to not respond in what my children expected, but to give them an example of how to react and respond from care rather than the typical hysterical parent.
What are you feeling? Perhaps you feel a little more calm or balanced. This simple heart focus exercise is just a first step in your new relationship with your heart. There's more to come.
You now know more about your heart's intelligence, and you've experienced heart-focused breathing. In the next chapter, you will learn more about the science of the heart. Yes, your biological.
All right. Lovely.
That was lovely.
Nice.
I
Heart breathing.
haven't done that in so long.
Oh, so nice. Yeah, and really at the center of, like, if you don't continue to learn and keep coming back with us on the rest of the videos, at the center of this is really about that heart-centered breathing. I mean, that's really what it's all about. Those are techniques that we can really do now at any time, you know. I mean, and I know, you know, that's something that most of us, if you think about it, that's how we kind of calm ourselves down. But to really bring the heart into it makes a big difference. So really cool. So I've already kind of gone over the time I told you we'd be here, but before we go, I'm going to just share a couple things. And if you could drop your name and where you're calling from into the chat, that'd be cool, because I can see a lot of, I can see most of your names here, but that way everyone else kind of knows where you're from. And while you're doing that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about a couple things. So mention that we have this biofeedback device. This is called an inner balance trainer. And basically it hooks to your ear and it monitors heart rate variability. It's Bluetooth and it works, you know, with your phone. There's an app that comes with it. This is not necessary to do any of the HeartMath techniques. So I just want to tell you that right off the bat. But if you are one of those people, this really helps kind of from a training standpoint of getting yourself, because it does, you'll be able to see, it's a fun way and it motivates you to kind of stay in coherence. So I'm going to drop a link to this in the chat as well if you're interested or curious about this. You can also find it on my website. But the thing I'm really excited about to share with you is this really cool new Global Coherence App. I'm going to share my phone here in a moment, share you that. Okay, so we've got Sherry, Amanda, and Madison, Crystal, Debbie in your RV, yes. Sheila, hi Sheila. Miss seeing you. I miss all my Jackson peeps. Kayla, Oxford. Oh, you're in Oxford for the moment. Katrina and Clinton. Hey, Rusty. Good to see you guys.
Hey, Dana.
Yeah, thank you guys for being here. I want to go ahead and share this really cool app, like I said, off my screen. And again, this is optional too. It's not something that you have to have, but I think it's kind of neat to be able to see where everyone else is doing this practice. So I'm gonna. Okay, so all right. I had this already ahead of time, but you know, I guess it timed out. So can you guys see that? That's my phone. That's the front screen of this Global Coherence app. So the inner balance trainer actually comes with an app that you can use this as a breathing tool. But what's neat about this one is if you go up here to the map, it shows us right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it shows all the little pink dots are where people are doing their coherence techniques all over not only just the United States, but look at this, all over the world. This is live right now. So right now we've got 109 people that have logged into this app, and they're all over. And it's so cool. I mean, you can actually get all the way down if you really want to see where people are at. It's so fun. And look at there, we've got people, Israel, Canada. Isn't that neat? So, I mean, you can really just see who's there.
So they're on right now.
Yeah, they're on currently right now. So you can get on any time of the day and do this. The other thing that's really the again is to, if you're actually doing coherence, bringing up the coherence, you're adding coherence to the field is what we call it. So we'll learn more about that in our next few Coherence Hotspot events. So I hope that you will, hopefully you learned a little bit today about the heart's intelligence. I think it's really interesting that the heart has its own brain, and the heart actually sends more what's the word I'm looking for, Sherry? Pathways, neural pathways from to the rest of the body than the brain actually sends. I mean, and so you think of the brain being the brain of everything, but the heart actually sends more of that to the body, which is interesting. So hopefully you can tune in next week again. We'll go over a couple more chapters of that video. Next week is going to be actually more science. It's called The Science of the Heart and attitude breathing. So just adding a little bit more techniques into that same heart-centered breathing that we talked about. So I was gonna, again, I think once this will probably be gone once I'll just follow up with an email with those links to the device. I think once I hang up on this meeting, the links will go away. So there's no sense in me dropping them into the chat right now.
Did you say there were links to those videos on the HeartFlow Circle page?
I've got them right now on my Jack Zen website.
Okay.
Go to the jackzen.com, JX-ZEN, and go to the Coherence Hotspot tab, and you can learn about what's coming up as far as new events, which, basically it's all the things that you can be working on your event today, the different dates we have. Also links to the device, and also there's also a link in there to get the app if you wanted to do that. Oh, what's not on the app is if you end up getting the coherence code, the Global Coherence App, there's a code that I'm going to just give to you right now. So okay, so here's the code. Yeah, so if you get the app, it's a free app. It's called Global Coherence, and then the access code to join our Jack Zen Coherence Hotspot group is Orange Heart 76. So I dropped that into the chat right there, Orange Heart 76. I don't have that access code. Excuse me?
No spaces.
No spaces. Capital O, capital H 76. Orange Heart 76.
Orange Heart. Okay.
I don't have that on the website, but I have everything else. And if
capital O, capital H, is that what you said?
Yeah. And I'll go ahead and include that in a follow-up email to everyone with the registration for next week's class. If you don't register for next week, it's okay. It's going to be the same exact Zoom link. So if you forget to register, there's no big deal. You can just pop in. It's really just the registration, just so I kind of keep track of and get you any messaging that you need. But thanks again for showing up, and hopefully you found this valuable, and I think it's exciting. It's really easy technology that, especially right now, I think we need it. So,
Yes.
Well, thanks, Gina. Appreciate your
Yes,
time.
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
I enjoyed.
all right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.